Maths guys, alright, in this type of maths there's two type of questions. I either want to know a length or I want to know an angle. In question 4, do you think I want to know a length or do I want to know an angle? The reason why most of you think I want to know an angle is because the letter is an angle, not a length. You got it? Here's what we're going to do. I look at this angle, I go, okay, what's that angle looking at? 12 must be the opposite. 17 is the longest side in that triangle. So what does that make that, Matthew?
It makes it the hypotenuse.
Yes, it does. Makes your side the adjacent. Now, I know the hypotenuse and I know the opposite. So what function should I use? Which one should I use and why? I should use sin. Sin what? The angle. See, if that was an A, it'd be sin A. If that was an X, it would be sin X. But it's what's called theta, or theta. So it's sine theta. Everybody got that? What's the opposite? What's the hypotenuse? What do we do now? Sin inverse. 12 over 17, and what do I get? Come on. 44.9. Read the question. If the question wants it to 1 degree, it's 45 degrees. Okay, in class now, most of you decided that this was an angle question. Was it an angle question, Danny?
Because there's no opposite. Or no, we don't have the angle.
Yeah, the letter is an angle. So if the letter is an angle, more than likely it's an angle question. We then go, okay, there's no opposite. What Danny said is true. We don't know the opposite, but we do know the adjacent and we know the hypotenuse. Then we go, okay, which one should I choose and why? I have to choose cos. I have to choose theta as the angle. And then I have to choose adjacent divided by hypotenuse, which is 3 over root 13. I then go, this is still an angle question. There's only one way to finish off an angle question in trigonometry. And that's using the inverse function. Okay, I'm going to ignore that. And we're going to do this. And what we should get is an angle of 33.7 degrees. Everybody alright with that? Any questions on questions 4 or 6 thus far? Now, we're now progressing from angle questions into length questions. Now you can see that we're looking for a length question here, so we're going to go for question 8 to begin. In question 8, it tells me the angle, but it wants to know the length B. First of all, using the 34.5, can anyone in class tell me what side is this then? It's the opposite. What side is the 35? And what side is B? What function should I use and why? Should I use sine, cos, or tan? Haymond. Haymond, why ask me to use cos? No, you're right. Yeah, you want the adjacent, but you're going to use the hypotenuse to get it. What angle goes beside the cos? 34.5. What goes on top? The adjacent, which is B. What goes on the bottom? 35. Now, what happens to the 35? It's divide on the right, which makes it on the left. So what does that mean? Just put that into your calculator. 35 cos 34.5. Should the length be bigger or smaller than 35? Why? Hypotenuse has to be the longest. If you come out longer, you've done something wrong. Lucky for us, it's 28 points. 8 to 4, which is grand. Or 28.8, yeah, 84, yeah. Everybody cool with that? Want you guys to try question 9 on your own, please. Off you go. Shh. Joe, you're drawing attention to yourself again. Good man. You wouldn't want it. Now, guys, which one are we going to use? Sine, cos, or tan? Tan. Tan 27.8 is the C value divided by 50. Therefore, the C value must be 50 times tan 27.8. And what you get? What? 26.36. You guys alright with that? So, what's confusing about these things is the symbols. XY equals 10. Also, that means it's the length XY equals 10. Doesn't matter. The angle XYW equals 30. Oh, there it is there. X to Y to W is 30. Okay. Get rid of that as well. Says it in the diagram, doesn't it? Okay. It then says XW is perpendicular to YZ. That means these are 90 degrees. Why do 90 degrees? Okay. So that's gone. That don't really need that either, do I? What's next? WZ is 2/3 of XY. What's XY again? 10. What's 2/5 of 10? 4. This means WZ must be 4. Okay. That's great. What does it want me to do next? Calculate XW and calculate WXZ correct to nearest degree. Obvious go. Okay. So using the triangle on the left, what we can see is that the opposite. Shh. We want to find out what the opposite is. So, sine 30 is the opposite, which is XW. We can just call it any letter we want. I think that's what you were asking me earlier. Just call it A if I want. And then put it over 10. A will therefore equal 10 sin 30. What did we get for 10 sin 30? Just got 5, did we? Okay. So, therefore A must be, that means the length XW is equal to 5. Yes. Sorry? I don't need the adjacents. I haven't calculated the adjacents. Oh, second part? Yeah, so in the second part, of the question is that I'm actually using the triangle on the right. And for the triangle on the right, you see that it's XWZ. So X to W is 5, and W to Z is 4. Okay? But the problem is, see, it's WXZ. It wants this angle up here. It wants that angle there. So the opposite is 4, and the adjacent is 5. So guys, if you have the opposite and the adjacent, what function are you going to use? You're going to use tan. So what's tan? Give it a letter, just call it X if you want. Tan X equals what? Tan X equals what? 4 over 5. 4 is opposite the X. 5 is on the bottom. How do you figure out the angle? Tan inverse. 4 over 5. And what do you get, Haymans? Alright, go on.
38.65.
38.65 to the nearest degree?
38.7.
39.
39.
Yeah. Okay.